Well, I thought I'd tell you another story. This is Preacher Man Piper. Oh, Catfield, coming to you again. Wanted to tell you about the time that I was just a little kid. I don't know, I was probably 6 or so. And, uh, and my dad had to be out of town preaching the revival. And he wasn't going to be there on Sunday, so he asked another preacher to come into town to preach for him in his church on Sunday. And he said, go by the house and pick up a key from my wife, and you can use the prophet's quarters at the church. So that Saturday evening, probably about 9 o'clock in the evening, which was late, way back then, that was late. You was in bed whenever the sun went down. So 9 o'clock was kind of late. And we were sitting there. My mother was sitting in her nightgown and in her robe. And I was just sitting there in my jammies. And about that time, bam, bam, bam on the door. My mother gets up, goes to the door. She don't open the door. She says, "Who is it?" Not a sound. Bam, 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 hard. Bam, bam, bam. "Who is it?" Bam, bam, bam. She said, "If you don't tell me who it is, I'm not opening the door." Well, it went bam, bam, bam again. And my mother reached over into a box. I always wondered what was in it, but, when I was a kid, you didn't get into something that you didn't know about. Today, the kids don't care. They just do whatever they want. But back then, you didn't do it. She got in this box and pulled out 2 pearl-handled pistols. And she told me, she backed up from the door and her hands were just shaking just like this. And the barrels of them guns going, whoop, 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 whoop. And she said, "When I tell you, just open that door." And so she said, "Open the door." And so I yanked that door open. She said, "I said, tell me who it is." That fella turned around. He made a beeline for that gate, fell smack dab on his face trying to get over that gate because he was too scared to open it. And he bounced up from there, boy, he disappeared. Come to find out, that was the preacher that was supposed to come and get a key to the prophet's quarters. So we still didn't know who it was because he took off so fast after he saw them dueling pistols just going up and down like that. And so my mother said, "Well, I bet you he won't come back." I said, "I bet he won't either." So about 20 minutes after that, the phone rang, and it was my dad. He said, "How is everything?" They said, "Fine." Said, did Lester show up? And my mother said, "I don't know." Said, "Somebody showed up and was banging, 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 banging on the door. And I asked them who it was, and they wouldn't tell me." He said, "So you didn't open the door?" She said, "Yeah, I had JD open the door, and I got them pistols out." And said when he saw them pistols, he run like a scalded dog. And he said, "Oh my goodness sakes alive." He said, "That was probably him." Said he was probably trying to pull a joke on you. She said, "Well, the joke's on him." And so sure enough, boy, that was the end of that guy. Then Sunday morning when we did get to church, And we saw him sitting down there on the front bench. My mother went down there and asked him, said, was you the one knocking on the door last night? And he got up and he apologized and apologized and apologized and apologized. He said, I was just going to play a trick on you. And she said, well, I don't answer that door unless somebody tells me who it is. And said, if you hadn't kept beating on that door like that, said, you'd have never seen them pistols. She said, but there's not a way in the world I would have been able to hit you because I was shaking so bad. And he said, well, he said, I won't ever do that again. So that was the first time I ever seen them pistols, and then I didn't see them again for years and years. But that was, I mean, they had long barrels on them. I mean, them things looked like they was waving a flag in the air. And, boy, it sure scared the fire out of that boy. And you could see that there was a skin up place on his nose where he hit the sidewalk whenever he fell over the gate, because his foot caught on that gate and just clopped him right straight. That, I couldn't help but just laugh and laugh and laugh. My mother said, well, that's not funny. I said, yeah, it is. Yeah, boy, it is. I'm telling you what. Well, shucks, I'm done. I know y'all are probably falling out of your chairs right now, passing out, slumping over, going, what in the world has happened to this guy? Have you joined the gall yet? Now, if you haven't, join the gall, okay? Get your name in on it. And watch the end of this video, because all the names of the people on the gall will be on here, okay? All right. Now, may the good Lord keep you. May He watch over you. May He take care of every situation in your life and supply every need. And remember, I'm praying for you. Now, till I see you again, bye-bye.